Hello everybody, Chrissy from Dream Gardens here. What you're looking at is my bed full of black eyed peas. They are growing pretty nicely, but now it comes time for to make a decision on which one of these um, plants I'm going to let grow and the other I'm going to cut because I need to thin them out. Um, but the good news about it is that these leaves are edible. So I want to cook them up, but first I need to cut. Obviously, need to cut one of them. Hard decision to make, but it's got to be done. So I like the fact that they are edible, so it won't be a waste that I'm thinning and then they just go in the garbage. They don't have to. You can also compost it, but I don't have a compost pile right now. I'm working on it. So let's get to cutting them. All right. So what you want to do is get yourself um, a bowl, some scissors, and in the bowl you're gonna want to put some water, just so that when you cut them, um, they can soak in the water and whatever bugs are on them can kind of drown. So you want to start that process, and also you don't want them to wilt. So I like my stuff fresh. So if I want to cook it, I want it fresh. I want it still alive. So if I cut them and they're in the water, they're still going to be living. Um, all right, so let's start that process. Okay, so as you can see, you have two grow, excuse me, two growing here. Um, so what I'm gonna do, I think that I will choose this one here because I don't know if you guys can see. There's a little bug bite, and I do put my organic, natural pesticide on these, but you know, bugs are going to do what they're going to do. You can do the best you can. So I'm just going to take this one here and snip it down at the bottom. At the bottom. You want to snip it at the bottom because you don't want it to continue to grow and get in the way of this other one here. Oh, horrible bug just came towards me, but whatever. So there you go. All right. And then you want to take it and put it in the water. All right, this is what I harvested. Now I can go out and do more, but I was being lazy today and I didn't feel like, cutting down anymore seedlings. But this is what I have. They're young black eyed pea or cow pea plants. Now the stems, I'm going to cut them off so they'll just be leaves. You're also looking at nasturtium plant leaves and a flower. So I'm going to cook all of these. Nasturtium, you can just eat them straight up like lettuce. But I'm going to cook them with these black eyed pea plants. All I'm going to do is I'm just going to saute them, maybe cut some onion up, and mix it with some rice because I honestly don't have enough to just have like a big old pot. So you can use it as something to just brighten up, your rice or whatever you're cooking, and any type of grain you can use that. This for if you don't have a lot of greens, which I don't at this point. And just cook them the way you would any other green. Just cook them. Most greens they cook down, so it'll be even smaller than this. But just take the stems off. I don't know. I think the stems are probably edible, but I haven't heard any research about how to prepare them. I do think they have some medicinal value, but at this point I'm just going to take the leaves off. And I will let you guys know how it tasted. If it was disgusting, But sometimes we have to get over our taste buds. Sometimes there are things that are so healthy for us that we need to just get over ourselves and just eat it regardless. Because food is medicine, as we've all heard it said. But before you cook them, just make sure you wash it very thoroughly. They were growing outside. Seems like all the neighbors around me are cutting down trees, so sawdust is just blowing in the yard, and they're just very dusty, um, and of course, bugs. Nobody wants to sit down to the table and the bug just crawl out of your food, so that would kind of be a turn off. So you want to make sure you wash these pretty good. So I'm gonna let them soak a little bit, and then hand rinse every one individually. That's just how I am. You don't have to do it that way. I don't get down with bugs. That's all. So, and I'm sure there's some in here. And then after that, buen provecho. Just enjoy your meal. All right. And I will give you my review and my kids' review about how they liked or disliked it. And I will let you know. All right. Take care. Okay, y'all. So this is the prepared dish. Now I use the leaves almost like as if you were putting oregano or basil into your rice, because as you can see, when it cooked down, there wasn't a lot to work with. But I did taste it apart from the rice, and it tastes exactly like a string bean to me. The leaves taste like string beans. I don't know if you've ever had fresh string beans. When your mom used to either pick them or go to a fresh food place and they'd have the fresh string beans. That's exactly what the leaves taste like. I just ate it a minute ago and I'm still alive and I'm not feeling foggy or anything. So I think that it's fine. I think that you guys can eat it. If you don't hear from me for a couple weeks, then obviously then something went wrong. But I'm going to tell you to go ahead and eat your black eyed pea leaves, and I think you'll be just fine, and you will have the added beneficial health benefits from it. And I just added the flour as a garnish because I thought it was a pretty sight to behold. The nasturtium flour. But I'm probably going to eat the flour because I know my kids are going to fight over it. So instead of me trying to choose between who gets the flour, I'm just going to eat it. And so that solves that problem. But there you have it. And they're in the background complaining. But oh well. So there you have it. And oh, yeah. This might look an awful like... The rice might look an awful lot like pre-prepared, packaged, processed rice. Well, that's because it is. Okay, guys, look, I'm not perfect, and so yeah, I have a pre-packaged rice, and maybe when we get to the point where we are totally over to the health side, I will make the regular long grain rice that takes, a little bit longer than these pre-packaged stuff. And this probably ain't even rice. I think it said, yeah, I don't know, pasta and rice, something, I don't know. But yeah, it's not the healthiest thing, and we're slowly but surely phasing out the things that are not healthy for us. But if you did it all at once, you know you're gonna crash. If you took out everything that was not healthy for you, you just one day you just go get up and just be like, you know what, forget it, I'm eating everything. So in order to not do that, we're just taking away a little bit at a time and adding in more of the goodness that comes from the ground, that comes from the earth, more of the things that God has provided for us. But there you go, guys. Questions, comments, please get at me. I love to hear your comments. I love to hear your questions or your input. Maybe you've ate black eyed pea leaves before. Maybe there's a different way to prepare them. As I told you, I washed them, triple washed them, and cut off the stems. And what I did was I put a little bit of oil in the pan, a little bit of water, and I just cooked them down. And I used pink Himalayan salt and some ground black pepper. So pink Himalayan salt, that's a whole different story. We have to talk about that another time. But yeah, if you get a chance, you want to use that salt. So we phased out the seasoning salt, and we don't even miss it because the pink Himalayan salt is so tasty. The salt that we get nowadays is not even salt. I don't know. It's MSG, modium sodium glutamate. You know, something that tricks your brain into thinking that the food tastes more better than what it. That don't even sound right. You know what I mean? I don't want anything that's gonna trick my brain into anything. Okay, I just want whatever God intended. So, but I can just ramble on, y'all. So I'm just gonna let y'all go so we can eat, and I will see y'all again. Okay, take care. God bless.